thing.
Yeah.
I didn't care if you hear me.
All right, I'm recording now.
All right, well, then I'm going to hit this. I'll start in a second. 3, 2, 1. We're recording. Nope, I just fucked up. Wrong button.
Wrong button, everybody. False start.
Mute. Hey, where's record? Where's record on this thing?
3 buttons on the right-hand side, bottom right, maybe?
Bottom right. Oh, the 3 little button guys. Okay, more options.
Yeah.
Stop recording. Does that mean? And we're...
Up. Maybe you can't record.
No, wait. No, hold on. No?
Yeah, there you go. I see you now.
Now I'm recording, and there we are. That was weird. It got scary, then came back. Just like everything that's happening now. It got scary, and then we're like, oh, wait. It might not be that scary. I'm here with Brandon. Brandon has been... We did the podcast together for years, and now you're weirdly saving the world from, like, your scary bubble where you're, like, talking to people from Czechoslovakia, which you shouldn't do. I'm going to advise someone. There's a lot of things you've done in life, Brandon, where I've said, don't, I can't bit my tongue. Don't have Czechoslovakian friends. They're not even real anymore. I don't think that's a country anymore. I think you've been duped.
Yeah, I believe it's the Czech Republic now, I think they call it. I don't know. These guys just want to keep changing things around.
You better Czech Republic yourself before you wreck Republic yourself. That's what they should call it.
Yeah.
That would be gangster. Brandon's website is more laws, more problems. Brandon was on the podcast with me for a while and then started getting real. You always were kind of into it, but you've gotten into government, politics, all things. So when this stuff happened, This is your Super Bowl, my friend.
Yeah.
You are in.
Yeah.
You are.
This is stuff.
You are doing it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is stuff that This is stuff that I've been. I'm gonna bring this back so it's just so you're just seeing me now. Yeah, this is stuff that I've been talking about that's gonna happen forever, kind of. Especially with this collapse that's going on in the economy. I don't know if you've been familiar watching the stock market just tank. Every day they're like stopping it, and people are freaking out.
Quick. For people like me who have never had money, what is happening with the stock market? I don't even know. I don't know. I don't. Dow Jones, to me, I think he played tight end for the Giants in the 70s. I don't really know who he is. I don't know anything about stuff. Why is it tanking? I mean, obviously it's tanking because people aren't working, but there's a lot of things that are being bought, and there is a lot of business happening. So what is wrong?
Well, really the problem is it's been kind of propped up for a long time. Hang on, I lost you really quick. It's been propped up since 2008 and even before that. But in 2008, there was a financial collapse. And basically, to give you the short story of it, the government just really printed money and sent a bunch of fake money, I guess you can call it, out to people and propped things up. And they lowered interest rates and they did what they had to do. So they made it a little not as bad, but it was bad for a lot of regular people. They lost their money. They lost all their savings, but the banks were rescued. All the big businesses were rescued. And now we're kind of seeing, in my opinion, I think if Trump didn't get elected, if Hillary Clinton get elected, if she got elected, we would have saw this crash already. But since Trump got elected, there's a lot of this.
Because she's a woman and women are terrible, correct? Is that why?
Well,
you're saying if women drive their cars bad, they would have crashed it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
If it was her or Yang, they would have crashed because they're bad drivers. That's what happened.
Women are crazy. I just think there's like.
She'd be trying to run the Dow Jones, and she'd have her period. You're like, wait a minute, lady, you're going nuts.
We can't even trade like one day a month. All these women over here, these broads.
Yeah, you know what? She's way past menopause. She's menopause.
Stop it.
Please.
No, I just think that after Trump was elected, there's a lot of false hope, and really what the market is just confidence. So people thought because Trump was president, things were going to be better, and they kind of were just going along, printing more money and doing what they were doing. And a lot of people, like, if you're listening to this and this interests you more or you don't agree with me, just looking at people like Ron Paul, he talked about this for years, that this was going to happen. And so in my opinion, even 2 months ago, I made a meme that was like a gas canister coming out, and it said Wuhan coronavirus. And in the background, it was like financial global collapse. So I was trying to say that this was a distraction for the collapse, which is happening now. So I called it in a meme 2 months ago. You're welcome, everybody.
2 months ago, I made a meme where I made this weird face on stage, and then I did another picture. It was closer on my face, and then another picture was even closer, and then the last one was just my eyeball. So I also just wanted to say I made a meme. I did. I made a meme a couple months ago. We're two guys over 40 making memes. We're killing it.
Yeah, it's great.
The meme, the Dow Jones is down, but the meme Jones is up. More memes now because people are home than ever. What's happened now is more memes being made, more TikTok videos, and more importantly, so many comedians learned how to use a green screen. That's what's happening in this economy.
I would invest in green screens right now.
Through the roof.
Yeah, they are.
But, all right, so, but the economy was good, right? Like, of course, I don't know a lot of things, but I know that everyone said Trump's big thing is the economy's never been better.
Yeah.
And all Trump supporters are saying the economy's never been better. So it was doing well. So if we were going to go conspiracy Jones, right, the thing we're going to say is that the Democrats were like, hey, how do we get people to hate them? We got to crash this economy. We got to make it look bad, right?
Well, I guess they could do that. They could do that, but the problem is they're both sides are so wrapped up in it. And, you know, you could say all day that the economy's great and pop money into it. And, you know, they put trillions and trillions. But honestly, when you look at it, it really wasn't doing that well. Businesses were still closing. People were still going under, you know. It was just a lot of hype. Maybe rich people were getting richer. A lot of those unemployment numbers are skewed. You know, it's like they say, oh, unemployment's never been lower, but they only count people who are on unemployment. Once you get past those 6 months and fall out, you don't get counted in those numbers anymore. So,
and I don't think it counts homeless people wiping off your windows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're counted in that. And that's a job.
They have jobs, yeah. They have jobs, exactly.
Totally a job. They get paid for it. It's fine. They're doing well with it.
I think if we're going to look for conspiracies here, I would say that people knew this was going to happen. So they're like, shit, what do? We got to get people to not lose their minds once the economy fucking just goes down. So maybe this virus brought it on a little sooner. It probably would have lasted a few months longer. I don't know. Nobody really knows because the way they're pumping money into it. But now...
Do you think it was manufactured?
In my honest opinion...
Do you think it's a bioweapon or do you think it's just a stupid animal thing jumping from another thing?
I don't think it's a stupid animal thing jumping from one thing, but it could be. And I just feel that it's just there's too many things, too many people are benefiting from this. Too many people are getting rich off this crash, off the stock market crash. And there's so many.
Domino's, right?
Yeah.
Domino's is killing it right now. People don't care about Domino's drivers at all. They are like fun. Domino's is doing 50% off all pizzas, and people are losing their minds. And I don't know if you saw this. Domino's also said now, in case you don't want contact delivery, you just let them know, and they'll just throw it on your steps.
Oh, that's great. I wish they offered that before.
If you can figure out the technology, you're a good hacker and you're hungry. You figure out who ordered contact delivery, and you wait on the steps, and then you just take the pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're afraid to get delivery, they're gonna be afraid to attack you when you take their pizza.
Yeah, just start coughing on them and sneezing. Yeah, and I think
Coughing's gonna be huge. Coughing's gonna be the new rape whistle. It really is.
Oh yeah.
Just run away. It's good.
Yeah, if you don't want people around you wherever you are. I think that's funny you say Domino's because I think a lot of small businesses are gonna suffer because of this. And it's weird.
I thought you were gonna go because a lot of things are falling down like dominoes.
Hey, you know, a lot of these bigger places, even restaurants, are gonna be fine because they've been doing curbside lately. Like in the past couple of years, Chili's does it, Outback, they all do this now, so they don't care. They just lay off their staff. I'm not saying they don't care, but the big businesses on that and they don't care.
They don't care. Big Chili's don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could still make food and put it out, and this is really hurting the mom and pop places. And that's kind of, if you want to go conspiratorial, you could say this was like a big business ploy along with government to just take over more of the marketplace. That and then crashing the market. Those are the two big things I see. And then,
you know who else it's hurting? People who don't get taxes taken out right away. Me, comics, wait staff. All the people who have to claim later, who get cash now and claim later, you know, as a DJ, I'm sure a lot of times you get paid something where no taxes are taken out, you're just given a check. And then you got to do your forms at the end of the year, and you got to pay your taxes. I do that. Now they're like, oh, let's stop all those people from making any money, so they have to go get jobs where taxes get taken out right away.
That's one thing, and now they're going to be more dependent on the government. Everyone's running, government, send us money, save us, you know. Did you see what I tweeted? My theory on that, though? No,
if that's going to happen, if we're going to get money, I want a Trump $1,000 bill. He better put himself on it. I want that so bad. You can think what you want. That'd be the most Trump baller thing humanly possible. If he's on the 1,000, you know he'll do it. I actually tweeted it at him. I was hoping for something. I got nothing back. I'm like, come on, Trump, baby, this is your move. Put yourself on the 1,000. And it'll be great too. Is I've said this before on another cast, but if he does that and sends it out, a lot of the super MAGA people, they will be like, I'm never spending this. This has my hero on the front. And then they'll post that on Facebook, and then that's who you loot. You take their 1,000 because they're stupidly posting, I'm never going to spend it. Then I'm running around with Trump bucks.
I think you're onto something.
Cash it, though. Who's that change? No one has changed for 50. We're going to get changed for 1,000.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, though. I mean,
I would like to see him on money. I think the two things he's gonna do before he leaves office in 40 years, that's gonna be about it when he leaves. He's gonna be on Mount Rushmore. He'll put his face up there. He'll knock one of them down. I'm not sure which one yet. If you think which one do you think he'll knock down? Or do you think he'll just put himself above them?
Yeah, he'll probably just put himself in gold right next to it or something.
Or just his name above it, Trump's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he might just put his name on it. You're right. Not even just his name.
Trump's Mount Rushmore, Casino and Spa.
Oh man, this whole country. By the time he leaves, he's gonna leave his name on it. Oh man.
Well, he better never open up another casino again. He can't, because now he hates the Chinese, and he needs them.
Yeah, exactly.
Casino. Chinese make the casinos go round, baby. Without them, you don't have anybody playing Pai Gow, nobody taking the Feng Hua. The one thing he can't do is ever go into the casino game again. He's fucked that one up.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay though.
He might. I think he'll be okay. Well, he's never gonna be not president again. He's our dictator for the rest of our life.
I was just thinking the same thing. Exactly. It's like FDR, like somebody was talking about Franklin Delano Roosevelt, like, oh, he's such a great president. I'm like, I don't know if you want to use the term president. Wasn't he like an emperor, guys? Like he died in office way after 8 years. It was 12 years, come on. Yeah. Let's face it.
If he didn't die, he wasn't coming out.
Yeah, he was.
They're just staying. It's funny. We are a country that thinks we're super free. And we're allowed to do a lot more things in other countries, but it's kind of like when you let a criminal, walk around the jail. Like, it's a jail, but you're like, well, look, they can go visit the other guys, they can play hoops. You almost forget that you're inside a jail until they're like, hey, get in your fucking house, don't come out till 8. You're like, wait, what? I thought I could do whatever I wanted. No, you can't do what you want at all. We all live under a government. That freedom thing made some people too nuts. Now, I would still rather have the abilities that we have here in America than live somewhere else where you're not even allowed to say crazy shit about people. The fact that we can talk shit about our president and then he can talk shit back to us, that's the greatest freedom of all time. The fact that he's telling reporters, you suck at reporting, fuck you, that's the best. I love that he's yelling at reporters right now. The reporter's like, how can we feel safe? He's like, you're bad at reporting. Yeah. That's the best. We're having a crisis, but he's still a dick, and I love it. I do love that. I don't mind. If I have my choices of the other people or him, I'm staying with him. I don't want Joe Biden. I don't want Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe will go to sleep. He's too tired.
I hear you. It's that you could, with Trump in there, you could definitely see more that it's a scam. It's so much easier to see than like when someone like Obama was in, when it was just this, I knew I was in a cage. Most people didn't realize, but I knew. But it was more like a soft kind of dictatorship. With Trump, it's like in your face. You know it.
Well, it's like, okay, if you're listening to this, if you're a fan of Connecticut comedy at all, you could either work for a booker that you don't know at all, and you think it's going to go well, and you think everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you don't get the check. You think it's going to get paid. Like, one time I worked for this guy in Springfield. I think I told you about this. And he said everything was going to be on the up and up. That night, he's like, hey, I don't have money on me. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Kept waiting. And then he only sent me partial the money. And then I didn't realize it, but I was getting fucked over, and I only got half the money. That's kind of like, I think, if you were working for, like, a lot of the other presidents. With Trump, it's like Vinny Beetle. Vinny Beetle is just in your face. You know who he is. He's right in your face going, I'm going to fuck you over. It's not going to work out well, but you want to do business, baby? And you're like, all right, I'll do business with you. I know you're going to fuck me, but it's okay.
Yeah, but you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Trump of Booker, so hopefully he's listening and he likes that. You're the Trump baby.
Yeah, he probably does, I would imagine.
But what are you seeing? You're talking to people that have the same kind of like thoughts and ideas that you do. What are you seeing? Do you think this is going to last a year, 6 months, 2 weeks? What?
Um, it's really hard to say. There's two camps among the like conspiratorial people that I'm seeing. That the sane conspiratorial people. One of them thinks this could be the moment that all the preppers and everyone's been warning about in the New World Order, and they're taking over, and they're just doing it slowly, and they're gonna lock us down, and that's it. And then the other camp kind of believes that this is just another ratcheting down event, similar to like what 9/11 is. No matter what you believe happened that day, we can all agree that the country's not the same. Big Brother's definitely worse. They're listening more. There's machine guns everywhere you go now. You go to the airport, the TSA is a pain in the ass. But anyway, so.
But we just got used to it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think about it like I did when it happened in the year or two after. I thought about it a lot. I noticed those things a lot. I don't think about it, and if I do see it, I go, "Oh, that's just what we do." I don't think about it. Exactly. I don't mind. Listen, if people need to stay 6 feet away from me from now on, I'm cool with that. I am fine with that.
I think people like us, it's funny, we've been trying to do this stuff our whole life, but now that everyone's doing it, it's like it's played out. And I think it's scary because, in my opinion, they're really trying to separate people and make people already kind of scared of each other. And it just is more, people are more apt to be, or more easily controlled when they're separated from other sane humans. They kind of, I'm so just surprised that everybody went inside and just didn't do anything and says, okay, we'll shut all our businesses. I was shocked. I was like, okay, wow.
I think they're doing it now because it's been pushed right to make them think that it's their safety and how no one said anything about, it's been very good at not being negative. This is for your own good. We're taking care of you. These are the precautions you have to do. If you want to be healthy, if you want to live, if you don't want your grandparents to die, that's a trigger thing right there. Yeah. They keep bringing that up. If you don't want your grandparents or anyone you know with a weak immune system, and we all know someone, and we also know people that think they do, but they really just get colds a bunch. But there's a lot of people who think that. You say those two things, the people you know that are unhealthy and the people with asthma are that. We all know somebody with asthma. The people you know like that, or the old people you know, they could die if you don't do this. You don't want to kill Nana. You don't want to fucking kill Nana with a sweet cough. So, you're going to be, all right, I'll stay inside. I think the longer this goes, what's going to happen now is we're going to have two classes. And it's going to be the essentials and the non-essentials. That's what we're going to become. Yeah. It really is. They're already using that term. You're essential. The guy who owns Harry's package store in New Haven is essential right now. He said they're going to stay open. My dad runs a warehouse that distributes liquor all throughout the country, the state. He has to be open. He has to go to work because they're going to keep alcohol open, which I understand because if you know anyone that's an alcoholic, if you don't want them having withdrawals stuck in a house with somebody.
Yeah.
Because that's a beat. You know what I mean? That's going to be tough times. You're sobering up, Uncle Jones. You don't need that shit right now. He's start hitting you with a stick. You got to keep that going. But it's going to be that the non-essentials like you and me and the people that you don't matter. Your job doesn't matter. At first, everyone's going to feel bad for us. They're going to say, "Oh, GoFundMe's and stuff." After a while, it's going to be like, "Stop asking me for help. Stop asking me. I'm working. Come work with us. Come be my warehouse bitch. Come be my slave. Come work for the big Amazon." Bezos is now the new ruler. We're all Tobies. That's what it's going to be. We're all going to be in the warehouse working for Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like we're being ushered toward that. Another thing I heard that's kind of disturbing is we can make fun of this. I don't know if you heard of they have these giant hospital ships that the Navy has.
First of all, Baron, I won't make fun of anything. I'm very serious. I'm sure there's people now listening to your good information and going, "Pat, you don't have to cram a joke in every time." Like, I guess you don't know who I am.
No, I do this. This is my thing. I kind of laugh at stuff. You have to laugh at it because it's so horrifying at the end of the day if you look at some of these people's plans. But so they have these giant hospital ships. They're putting one off of each coast, and then Trump. I seen him twice when he was giving a briefing. Mention the name of the guy who's the Carnival Cruise CEO. And he said, whatever his name is, I forget. But he goes, he assured me he has ships ready when we need. And then he's like, if we need them, like he said that, he goes, if we need them in New York and in San Francisco, we can bring people onto the ships. It's like, wait, what? You're gonna start ushering people onto ships? Like what?
Yeah, we gotta get up. It's gonna be Waterworld. We're gonna do Waterworld.
Exactly.
We're gonna make a shit movie.
Over it, not even a thing that like most people. And another thing, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a lot of reports coming out of Italy. First one was from the head of their. I could give you the links too, so you could put it with this podcast. But it was with one of the higher ups in the Italian medical world, basically world or whatever, and he said they can only really prove 2 deaths from coronavirus alone. Every other one, it was somebody who had other complications, other sicknesses, and then this just came in and gave them pneumonia, I guess, so they passed away. And the average death was around 80 years old. That's the average. And then something came out today.
Coronavirus is like AIDS, right? Where no one actually dies from coronavirus or dies from AIDS. You die sort of the symptoms that make it be AIDS at the end, correct?
Yeah, that's how all viruses work.
You die from the pneumonia you get from having it.
Exactly.
You die from the HIV, you die from the other sicknesses you get because your body's breaking down, but you don't die of AIDS. You don't die of COVID-19.
Yeah, exactly.
You die of the symptoms that form around it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
look at
exactly.
me knowing stuff. Yeah,
you're killing it. And see, if more people knew that, and that's the thing, a lot of people are afraid of viruses. Where in our modern world, we really don't have to be afraid of viruses. You know, as long as you stay healthy. And that's kind of what I was going to say before, is like, where do we draw the line where we have to keep the healthy people home for the non-healthy people? You know, like, I don't understand that. It's crazy.
But it's also like, and I don't understand how, you know, things work in this way. I don't understand always. I'm not a doctor in any fucking way, shape, or form. But I was always told if someone was sick, you stay away from them. But they're saying, like, you know, if you're healthy, you can be around someone. I mean, I basically think everyone's got it or is going to have it anyway. I think everyone's got it. Just certain people it can affect, some people it can't. You know what I mean? I don't ever get sick. I don't get the flu. I don't ever really get, my whole life haven't got sick. But I'm sure I've had the symptoms that make you sick. My immune system's strong, I guess. But there's other people, they get a little rain on them and they're sick for fucking 4 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
like, I could probably be around them and they can have it. And I could probably even get it and be a carrier, but not be sick from it and give it to someone else. And they're in my home with me. I don't know that. You know what I mean? So, like, where do you draw? Is everybody going to be in a different room?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to have a 6-foot bed? I don't have a 6-foot bed. How am I going to sleep in bed with somebody if I'm 6 feet away? I don't have 6-foot bed money.
Yeah, that's like saying. We don't have stay-at-home money. You know what I mean? We need, people like us need to be working. That's what I'm saying. Who gets to make these decisions?
Speaking of that, you push what you got. How make money real quick, and then I'll push mine right here.
Yeah,
how can people donate to you? How can they help you out?
Well, really, the best way to help us both out is go to comedylol.com, and you could donate right there on PayPal. Actually, right there through PayPal.
Right. Go to comedylol.com. Donate. That money's gonna go to you. It's gonna help. We'll push this up here, but that's gonna help with you. I had to set up a Patreon to put out more things too. Go to Patreon, Oates Podcast. That can help me. Comedy LOL help you.
Yes.
You should start putting more content on Comedy LOL podcast thing. By the way, Brandon.
Yeah.
People will want that now.
I have a ton of stuff, so especially people who are interested in what's going on, I might even start live streaming there because I did some stuff on Facebook, boy, and I got people. I just voiced my opinion, and I decided that I'm just going to step away from Facebook. But I voiced my opinion about a couple things, and people were contacting me, and they were saying, if you're telling people they should be able to go outside, you're putting people's lives at risk. And I'm like, really? Who told you this? Like, where are you getting your information? You know what I mean?
I've been going for runs every day. You can't listen.
If they went outside more, they'd probably feel better. Anyway,
don't go play tackle football or some shit. But yeah, they're even saying that now. Non-contact activity is perfect. Go out, run, take a walk, enjoy outside. You're gonna go stir crazy if you don't. You got to get out. And we're full of germs and grossness anyway. You're just becoming an incubator in your house. Open some windows, motherfucker. Let some shit in sometimes. You're going to have to clean a little bit more. You're going to be inside so much more. But go out there. Go out. Just even go out there, walk around your yard. Take the garbage out. You're going to be all right. You don't have to put on a fucking mask to go walk outside for a second. But if you're going to go walk around with people, you're going to go fucking Stop and Shop, yeah, be careful. When you see a fucking cocoon-looking motherfucker, get away from him or give him a kick in the knee or something like that, but stay back. But definitely go out. I wouldn't run. I did like a 6-mile run yesterday. I ran for like a mile and a half today because my body was hurting from the 6-mile run the day before. But I'm going out there. And I've been telling this too. if you want people to stay away from you, run to the store. Run to where you're going. Because when you walk in, you're sweaty. They don't know why. They think you're sick and they stay away from you.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Tremendous advice. I can't help out more than I just did there.
Yeah, how is it now? How it's crazy to sneeze or cough in public. I was at the pet store the other day and I coughed and I immediately was just like, "Don't worry, everybody. I smoke blunts. It's fine. Like I'm not sick."
And then somebody turned around and just shot a dog. They're like, "I thought the dog sneezed." I'm taking out this parakeet. I didn't know what it was.
Your dog's a corona carrier.
The craziest thing about this is that everyone thinks they're informed because we've never listen. There's been depressions. There's been many, not many pandemics, but many things that would cause worry and concern. Like, thank God social media wasn't like this during 9/11. Like, if social media was a thing, the strength it is now, that would have been insane because the worry would have been crazier. The people having access. There's so many people are just going on Twitter, reading one thing and going, well, that's what it is. I know everything now. You don't know anything because this guy said that. Like, you don't know where that guy came from or that guy or this thing or that article or whatever it is. Like Mike Huckabee Carla just showed me, Mike Huckabee just tweeted out a thing that you can wipe your ass with corn cobs. That's a real thing. Mike Huckabee put that out there. You take the cob part, take the corn off. You can use it. He said farmers do it. You can use it and it cleans up good and you just don't flush it. But that was a real thing he put out there. He might be kind of joking. I didn't know Huckabee was such a huckster, but he seriously was saying that people have used corn cobs to wipe their asses in case you run out of toilet paper. There are people that are now going to buy corn, chuck off the corn part, and just cornhole themselves to save money.
Is that why they call it a cornhole?
Yeah, I think that's why they call it cornhole. You're correct. I had a buddy in college who wanted to see because when you eat corn, it goes in your poop. You can see the corn. I think everyone knows that science. It's the weirdest science in the world.
Hang on, let me pull something up.
A buddy of mine, he said for a month he ate nothing but corn because he wanted to see if he could just poop a corn cob. And so every day he'd be like, my buddy Stu, he'd just be like, dude, look now. Like, all right, still just poop. I don't want to look anymore. Every day. And he never formed a full cob, but it was so corny. Like it was, he just drank water and ate corn for a month. And like one day he had cream corn. Like, you're gonna fuck it up. He's like, shit, I didn't think of that. Like the cream can't get in there. You need solid corn. But that's the kind of thing. He did that because someone told him corn's in poop. Now we have social media. If that was then, he could have tweeted that out there, and then millions of people are just eating corn because they think it's going to be cheap, save money on toilet paper. We're losing our minds. And with the social media thing, everyone's just believing they have all this information. Then they're running out and yelling at other people. Then we're all becoming the people scolding the other ones. You don't go outside. Do go outside. Don't cough. Yes, cough. Don't be with people. Yes, be with people. Go to work. Don't go to. It's crazy. You're all just scolding instead of just like, hey, take a step back. Realize we don't know what's going on. But here's the one thing. We wouldn't not everyone in the world would just be hiding in their homes if it was okay. There is something out there. I don't want people to think like this is all a conspiracy to make you go in your house. There's no illness. No, there's an illness. There's something out there. We don't know what it is. But just admit you don't have the answers to everything. Everybody thinks they have the answers. No one does. No one does. Even that doctor that was with Trump, Trump's like, we have the cure. And the doctor's like, I didn't say that once. like no one knows.
Yeah, I agree with you because there are some people who think it's a total hoax. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you're someone who thinks this is a total hoax. I get it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I also don't think they care.
Completely made up, and there's no illness whatsoever, and we're just tracking old people dying.
Oh, I think that is quite possible.
We're just reporting someone's nana's dead. And
yeah.
There's no. So like, you think she died? Oh my God, she died of COVID. The woman in Norwalk. I can't believe it. And you're like, nah, she just died, yo. We reported it.
The thing about the coronavirus, so it's been around for a while. It really just is a common cold. They're just saying this is like a certain strain of it. So it's anyone's game. And then I've also looked into bioweapons and stuff that's bioengineered. And the United States is really, their government is really deep into doing a lot of that stuff. So, I mean, I would not be surprised if any of the scenarios were true. But I don't really think it's the threat.
Bioweapons are weapons that like male and female weapons, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Heyo.
Transo weapons. There was another study that came out of. Yeah.
I thought it was a guy.
Da, 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 da. Wah, 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 wah. But
Did you ever hear? Real quick, we'll go back to this. But I don't know about you, but I'm now watching things I never would watch because we're just sitting at home and trying to find stuff. There's a movie on Netflix, like 2017. It was called like The Assignment, and it's got like Michelle Rodriguez, Susan Sarandon. It's got a good cast, but all you read the beginning part. There was a guy who was a contract killer, right? So I guess he was killing people. So a doctor wanted to stop him, so they knocked him out and then gave him an unconsenting sex change operation, and now he's a lady, and now he can't kill people. I'm like, how did I never hear about this movie? That is the craziest. What? I'll stop you. Now you're a lady. Now you're Michelle Rodriguez. And so I started to watch it, but I'm like, I can't fucking. Who fucking greenlighted this idea? That's how do we stop them? Just knock them out, turn them into a lady. You wake up, you're a Michelle Rodriguez now. That is the greatest, worst idea for a movie I've ever heard.
If you're gonna wake up as a lady, I guess it's not that bad, right? I mean,
yeah, but like in the movie, they didn't get an actor to play the guy named Frank Kitchen. They just got Michelle Rodriguez, put a beard on her and slicked her hair back. So it just looks like a gay Puerto Rican. You're like, all right, now I'm Frank Kitchen.
They could have just got John Leguizamo.
That's The Fly. Leguizamo. I couldn't believe. Like, I'm looking at this going, I hate COVID-19 more than anything in the world. Fuck you, Chinese virus, because you made me realize that The Assignment is a goddamn movie. And Susan Sarandon plays the doctor that did it. What are you doing, Suze? You've got a great career. You couldn't have thought this was. I guess it was based on a comic book, which, by the way, it does sound like a graphic novel type thing. But this is not the. Do you think they all signed on going, "This is the new Avengers. We're gonna make a lot of money"?
The Assignment.
I hope it did. I'm happy that we never heard about this copycat person that was just drugging people and turning them into ladies. But I guess you would need a lot of skills. But yeah, but the doctor was a skilled surgeon and able to just turn people into ladies whenever they wanted to. I guess that's fun. How long were they knocked out for? And they're like, and they kept them in a room and they gave them money to pay their rent to say you're gonna have to recover. You know, obviously from all the pain of getting your cock chopped off and become Michelle Rodriguez. And I know who else is in it. The guy who was Monk. Remember that TV show Monk?
Mm-hmm.
Tony, whatever his name is.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, he's also in it.
Of course.
He's the guy talking with Susan Sarandon, trying to figure out why she did it, because they don't even believe there really is a Frank Kitchen. I don't know. So I started watching like 15 minutes of it. And I'm like, I'm taking a nap because this can't be real. This has to be an Inception dream world that I'm in, where Tony Shalhoub, Susan Sarandon, Michelle Rodriguez are doing wacky, unconsenting sex changes. So fuck you, Wuhan. And now I know this belongs. I don't want to know this is a thing. Goddamn Wuhan. I watched that today. I watched because R.I.P. Kenny Rogers. That one saddened me.
I didn't hear about that yet.
You know, Kenny Rogers died this morning, not from COVID, just from being the gambler. He's like, he was, almost 80 years old, I believe. And he just passed away. But that I usually don't give a shit about celeb things. I used to go down a rabbit hole. When I used to work at Jokers, I'd make like Stosh and people, Matt Wally, people who worked with me, nuts, because I would just go on my computer and go down rabbit holes of Kenny Rogers doing live performances with Dolly Parton and other women, where he would just like in between songs do the creepiest banter, just hitting on them, and then just sing "Islands in the Stream" or "Lady" or some shit. And he's the man. And so I watched on YouTube. He made a movie like in 1981, 82 called Six Pack. I don't know if you ever heard of the movie.
No, I don't think so.
When I was a kid, my mom liked Kenny Rogers, and we didn't have cable. We got like 5, 6 channels. So like Channel 11 would come on. Like it's like in the mid 80s, because a couple years later the movies would come out. And this movie was on all the fucking time, like Saturday afternoon. And it was Kenny Rogers was a race car driver named Rooster, and he was driving through some town in Texas, and this truck comes by and steals the engine from his race truck car. He's like, oh my gosh, he starts chasing this crazy truck. But in the truck, when he catches them, is not banditos, but 6 kids. And the oldest girl is a young Diane Lane, which is real weird. And then it's like 5 other like hillbilly boys, but they're real good at fixing up anything. Like the kid even says, if we can't fix it, it ain't broke yet, which is just dumbest hillbilly saying I've ever heard. But anyway, the whole movie's about how he takes them on and basically adopts them because they don't have parents, and they become the Six Pack. It's the shittiest movie, but also if you're missing Kenny Rogers, all his songs are in it, and he's acting. He's trying to be like action guy. He's trying to be smooth with bitches, And my favorite scene in it, and tell me if you ever heard of this invention. I had never heard of it. The waitress at the beginning is just head over heels hitting on. She can't handle how sexy Kenny is.
I mean,
salt, pepper, beard. How can you? So she walks over and she's like, "Can I get you anything besides my number?" Whatever the fuck she's saying, like, just being a Me Too waitress and like coming up. And then, but there's music playing. You don't know where it's from. And she goes, "You can change that station." And then she reaches down, and then her giant belt buckle is a fucking FM radio, and she just hits a button and it plays different countries. I'm like, when did we get that invented? I don't remember that being a thing. Do you remember the radio belt buckle?
No, I don't.
I think they tried to, like, somebody made some invention and he's like, "Hey Kenny, can you throw this in the movie?" He's like, "All right, man, I get it." I would love the radio belt. It basically just blared out loud from her crotch, and it just played music, but it was clear as a fucking bell, and she just hit a button and switched stations. She got radio on her crotch. I was like, holy shit, fuck the rest of this movie. So you're going to watch that. They'll go to YouTube. It's only like 10 minutes in.
What's the name of it? I'll bring it up to put it on the video. What's the name of it?
What's the name? How dare you? Six Pack. Six Pack is the name of it. And it's a radio bell ball. It's probably like 10. It's like 10 minutes in. He's driving around. He gets stuck in a bathroom. When he comes out, he has to sneak through a window, and then they stole his engine from his race car. Then he goes to the police, but this is like 1981 in Texas. The police station's closed during the day, and they say open whenever. And then he's not happy with the chili. Then the waitress comes, and she's playing music from her fucking belt buckle. It's the weirdest fucking thing. But I was saddened by that, and I saw people posting about it, and I saw on Twitter that my boss from Connoisseur Media, Keith, he said a thing like Weeby 108 was going to play 3 songs by Kenny Rogers as tribute. And I'm like, that's not enough. We should be doing Kenny all day, all weekend. It should be called We Playing Kenny All Weekend. He's like, no, that's too much.
I love that.
He said, relax. I said, of course I'll relax. I'll relax to Lady, and then I started naming like 8 of the songs, like Lucille, all this stuff. And I was like, I go relaxing with Rogers would be the good name of the station. We just play nothing but Kenny. Just play. I love Kenny because when I was a kid, I remember watching the Muppet Show. Do you remember that video?
Oh.
That was the video that when he did the gambler from that train where it was all fucking Muppets and Kenny. That was haunting when I was a kid. They did the gambler and they had like a ghost puppet come up and rise as the gambler at the end. It was fucking crazy. I love that shit. You find that video?
Yeah, I can't. I could play it, but you won't be able to hear it.
People can look. No, they don't deserve that.
I'm just bringing up pictures right now.
On their own. You people need to watch. You want to respect someone. Fuck when you all pretend you like Prince and people like that. Kenny fucking Rogers is the man. He owned a chicken company. He was thirsty for bitches. He fucking had an open chest. He had gray hair since he was 30. He was an actor. He was a singer. He was the shit. You should fucking go watch Six Pack. Don't watch that. The Coward of the Country. That's not a good one. But the Six Pack is I think Kenny was trying to be the country music version of Elvis Presley and just make all these fucking movies with his songs in it. It didn't work out, but I think he was a better actor than Elvis. I think Elvis was a shit actor.
Yeah.
You ever watch any of his movies? He was a shit actor.
Not as good as Kenny.
No, Elvis. You ever watch an Elvis movie? My mom used to just watch the Hawaiian one. All that. It was garbage.
I can't remember. Probably when I was younger.
Redheads with big tits in his movies, and then Kenny loved blondes with big tits. That was their thing. Tits.
Yeah, they loved. Kenny loved Dolly Parton because of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but she even said, she admitted it like a year or two ago. They never slept together. He always wanted to, but I never let him. Because she was married, but he was just like, come on, bitch, give me that pussy. And he's like, no, you're not getting any. Sorry, no cat. I'm like, throw Kenny a little, Dolly. What are you doing? Sweet. I remember as a kid when we played that game. What was it called? MASH. And was it MASH? You had to name the women you wanted to marry. They were like famous women or something like that. This is the early '80s. We would name like Cindy Crawford, Kathy Ireland, people like that.
Oh yeah.
But then everyone always named Dolly Parton. I'm like, Dolly Parton's not hot. I'm like, oh yeah, big tits. Like she's the last person there is in the world where you're allowed to. I guess Kim Kardashian is too, but you're allowed to just name them as a body part.
Yeah.
Kardashian is because she's just a butt, but like Dolly Parton was just tits. Like you just to the point where it wasn't even like rude, whatever. Like she even knew it. She's like, yeah, I'm tits, y'all, and that was it. It's like everybody just knew her as tits. She was a great singer, a tremendous singer, but all she was known for was tits.
Yeah.
Even her best song ever was done better by Whitney Houston, who had less tits but better voice.
Yeah. Didn't matter then, though, right?
Did you ever hear that story about that in the movie The Bodyguard? When she sang that song, I will always love you, whatever. When they made that movie first, Clive Davis was representing her, and her agent wanted her to do a movie, and he was like, "Hey, don't. I don't know if she should be in movies, but sure, call whatever." And then he saw the movie. They sent it to him, and he's like, "This is terrible. Why aren't you making her a singer? You're not using her songs. I'm not saying this as her representative. I know you probably think I'm trying to get my songs in there, but like, my God, you've got Whitney Houston. You should use her songs." And they're like, "All right, because the movie looked bad." So that's why they decided to use her songs. They're trying to figure out what main song to use. And then of all people, Kevin Costner goes, "Hey, you guys should have Whitney sing that song that Dolly Parton sang in that movie." They're like, "Wait, what?" They're like, that song, "I'll Always Love You." Like, Kevin Costner was the one who made that happen. Like, I love that. He was just chilling. You think about these celebrities being all about themselves. He's like, I like how his mind was like, I wonder what Whitney can sing. Like, what the fuck is he? It's like, oh yeah, remember when Dolly sang that song in that whorehouse, "I Will Always Love You"? That'd be sweet if Whitney did it. Like, that became the biggest soundtrack song in the history of mankind. Yeah. And that's because Kevin fucking Costner goes, "Hey Clive, let's do this shit." I'm like, he's the man. Kevin Costner is the man.
He is. And now we're all going to be in Waterworld.
That's unselfish. You never hear about him being a Me Too or dickhead or anything. You hear nothing about him.
Yeah, he probably just murders all his victims. Just kidding.
What?
I said he probably just murders all his victims. No, I'm just kidding, everybody.
Yeah, well, if he does, that's fine. That'd be cool. Wouldn't that be awesome?
It's better.
If he died, he left a letter, here's all the bodies.
Yeah.
Like, that would be so fucking dope. Like, Kevin Costner lives his life, makes all these fucking movies, we're all the baseball movie, all that fucking shit. And then all of a sudden at the end, he's just like, it's a Field of Dreams. And then inside, he's like, "You should see my Field of Murders." And then backyard, and it's just all these bodies. It's everyone. It's Heath Ledger. Everyone that you think was a celebrity that died.
Jim Morrison.
He just fucking killed them all. He just slaughtered them. Because they were going to take the roles he was going to get. And he just killed. Oh, my God. That would be great. That'd be a great. Then we get that cool documentary on Netflix. That would help kill time. So, Kevin, if you can work on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, start retroactively murdering people and burying them in your backyard field of broken dreams.
You think he's like, "Yeah, Brandon, you're right. Retroactively. Yeah, sure, buddy. I'll start doing that now instead of 15 years ago. Remember when I didn't kill Abe Vigoda?" That would be the best. Everyone's like, all these celebrities are like, "Wait, Abe Vigoda? Who's that? You remember Barney Miller? No. Did you ever see Good Burger? Yeah, I think. That old guy. He killed him, hypothetically, in this fake thing I made up." Like, oh, okay. And then someone else is like, "You don't know Fish? He had his own show." It's like, "Oh, you're a big Vigoda fan?" "Yeah, huge Vigoda fan." Then they sing "My Vigoda." My Vigoda. Like, you never know. That could happen.
And the second verse
I need to get outside. I need to get outside.
Yeah, we all need to get outside.
So what is your favorite conspiracy, like the craziest conspiracy theory you've heard about all this?
One interesting thing that I've heard is that some of this might have to do with 5G. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
That's pretty crazy. So 5G is...
Is he a rapper?
No.
I'm not up on all the rappers. Is he a SoundCloud guy, 5G?
I wish. 5G is the next technology, like 3G, 4G on your phone, 5G.
I know that's on my phone. I don't even know what that means.
Well, what it is, people are saying that it's just the frequencies are not good for humans and they're like not tested. There's a bunch of different documentaries and stuff out there about it. But they're saying that Wuhan was one of the first places where 5G went live, and then a lot of people are that had these symptoms. Some don't even have a fever, so they think it could be due to the 5G technology and the way that it's affecting them.
Why is that the conspiracy?
Well, because they're trying like really hard to get 5G put in places, and everyone's saying that it's really harmful to people's health, but they're not really doing tests. They're just trying to usher it in. So some people think that this is it going live.
If we make everyone go inside, they can't protest?
Well, no, they think that maybe turning on 5G is what's making people sick. I'm not saying, like, obviously I agree with all that, but yeah.
I like the conspiracy that Hillary Clinton did this and she has the cure, and that cure is the stem cell she took out of Jeffrey Epstein's body when she fucking murdered him. And then that's the cure to all this. And she's not going to give it to us until we make her emperor. And then Bill Clinton gets to be first lady. Because he'd be a dope first lady.
Yeah, he would be.
He'd be the best. Do you think Melania is the hottest first lady?
I don't know. I'm not really. I don't know. I'm not into her look.
Okay, but compared to all the other fucking jackals that have been.
Jackie O, though. I mean, Jacqueline, she was pretty hot.
See, I didn't think so.
When she was younger, you know, I mean, obviously.
Well, I'm all saying when they're younger. I don't want her now. She's beaten. She's dead.
I meant when she was like.
Who's the hottest corpse?
18. Yeah. Who's the? Is this corpse? I like.
He's the hottest corpse.
He is.
Hot Spiro action.
Yeah, I mean, I guess compared to all the other first ladies, she definitely.
I think Melania, hands down, is hotter than I think Jackie O was hot for a first lady. I think Melania, in her prime, was a model. I mean, like, wins.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to look at pictures of her again in her prime. I just see her now, and she just looks like one of those, you know, got someone who got too much plastic surgery or too much tanning. You know, like.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? She's keeping it preserved, baby. She knows what's up. She's got to keep the world's ending. She's got to keep it looks going.
You're right. They all got to keep the looks up.
I like how she's keeping her looks up to get dry humped by Trump once a month, but he's not keeping his looks up for her to do anything.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care at all. He's the leader of the free
He just
world.
wears a George Clooney mask when he fucks her. It's like, here you go. Here's something better for you. Have some Clooney. Wear this Clooney mask. That'll be good for you.
Do you think he's got a wig? What do you think? It's got to be a wig, right?
It's a bad wig. But when you get a good wig, it's a shit wig.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't think it's a wig.
So you think it's real hair that just looks like a shit wig?
No, I think it's like, you know, the early. I think he got Rogaine before Rogaine was good, or like, remember the hair club for men? Maybe he got a hair club for men.
Maybe he was the president back then too.
Yeah, he was president and client. He deals with presidents. That's what he does. I think it's just a fake hair.
So you're saying you think
But
it's fake? You're saying you think?
I think it's growing. I think he's got chia head. I think he's got that thing where, like, isn't that what it is? Hair club for men. They put the roots in and they fucking. Oh, yeah. Isn't that? I don't remember what it was. But
I got So like it's.
Yeah, I don't think it's a whole. I don't think it comes off. I don't think it comes. You think it comes off?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't he take it off? That would be brave. If he shaved his head fucking bald, oh, he'd be badass. He would look like, what was that bad guy in Daredevil?
Look like a disaster.
He would look like Kingpin. He'd have a bald head, and he would just, and he'd wear a white suit. Oh my God, he would be the best.
He would look like an overweight thumb, though. I think, you know what I mean. I don't know.
King Kong Trumpty. That's what he would be. He would be the best, bald and doughy and the best. Oh, I would love that. He should. Listen, Trump, look at this dome. I'm shaving my head all day. I'm doing well. It's good. Trump, shave your head. Listen, no president had good hair either. Who had good hair?
I'm gonna bring up a picture of him and see, and then you Google one too, just on here, and we'll kind of see if we can imagine what it would look like.
I know what my president looks like. That is not a toupee.
My president.
He's our president. Isn't that what he is? He's not my president.
No,
he's our president. He is the president. When people say he's not our president, it's like he is. That's how it works. He's your president.
I know.
He's the president of the United States of America. We don't get to choose another guy. You can't just go, nah, I like this guy. No, that's your president.
He's got like a really square head. I don't know if. Yeah, you're right though. He is the president. Take it or leave it.
He's the president of the United States. And he won. He won this thing where you get to be the president, and he's it now. Has anyone had a more Forrest Gump life than him? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not saying that everything he just happened to, but I mean, like, he's involved in every, like, no president had, I mean, before him, you would kind of go, oh, yeah, remember when Ronald Reagan acted with a monkey? That was weird. Like, but now our president had a reality show. He was in a WrestleMania. I mean, that's crazy. That's our president. But it's also, like, it makes sense as Americans. That's who should lead us. Someone who did crazy reality show shit. That's who we are. I think Puck from the Real World should be next. Like he should be it because he was or the guy Richard from Survivor, the one that cheated on his taxes and walked around nude in the first Survivor. He should be the president. He had enough time where he moved on. That should be perfect. I'm done. Trump's hair, that's growing out of his head. But I think it was from help, like scientific help.
Yeah.
But you think with all the money he's got and all the influence, they could do better. But I think that makes him look. I don't think he wants to be bald. But I also think he doesn't want to look like it's. It looks so comical that you have to go. It's not fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're like, it's making him in a weird way distinguished, but the color is weird because of his age. It shouldn't be that color. Like there should be some gray.
Yeah.
Like I'm 45
is there gray in
and there's
there?
gray in my beard. There's a lot of gray in my beard. I'm 45. He's double my age. Well, he's not double my age. He's at 90. But he should definitely have some gray.
I mean, he might be.
No, do you think he's dying that?
No. I'm saying he might be 90 and you just don't know it.
Do you think he's dying that hair? I think he's dying.
Yeah, he's got to be dying that, definitely.
He's dying in that color.
Pulling up more pictures of him.
That's a weird color. What we both know is he does tan. He is tanning.
Yeah.
That's not his skin complexion. Right?
Yeah, no, he definitely has to be tanning. I mean, I don't know about anymore because I'm trying to find more pictures of more recent stuff. Maybe I'll just pull up something from the press conference, but he looks, I mean, a little more haggard, obviously, everything that's going on.
He's dealing, I mean, my God. Say what you want about him. He's dealing with it, trying to save the world. Because everyone's looking at it. And he's like, what the fuck? I got this? I just wanted to come around and talk some shit. Now I gotta see. That's the last thing you want is like you watch movies and stuff. And you're like, wouldn't it be cool if you're the guy who's like, at the end of the world, and you're the one that they look to. I mean, you don't really want that shit. And that's what he's got to deal with. He just wanted to fucking have some fun and be the president, run the country, and throw it in his legacy. Now you don't want this on you. Nobody wants this. That's too much. So what do you? At the end of the day, what do you think? What do you think? You personally, you Brandon Smith, are we going to be a month from now still stuck in our homes? 2 months from now, still stuck in our homes? Or do you think we're going to figure out some ways to get around this? I mean, I don't think they're going to let that. Do you think we're going to go full martial law? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, all those obviously are possibilities.
Well, that's why I said them.
I don't think that. No, I'm saying they're all real. Well, some people won't even think that's like realistic, but I think that's all something that if it happened,
think we're stuck for at least a couple months. I think we're fucked till at least fall.
Yeah, I think so too. But see, this is what I'm really worried about. I've heard that they're talking about what's been like kicked around lately is 18 months because that's how long it's going to take for a vaccine to come. So they're trying to say that maybe so that could be one scenario. The other scenario that I think is really sorry, I can't talk. Really likely. The most likely scenario I see is that they will, in limited form, let us out from this for the summer at least, but then it's going to be back next year with a vengeance. And I also have a feeling this could be something that comes around every year. People are talking about it. I saw this guy. It was a video that was suggested to me by YouTube. I was watching all this other stuff, but they suggested this mainstream video. It was BBC. This British lady was talking to this American guy, and he was saying how this is a war. We have to use the word war. And then he goes, at the end of it, he goes, American people have to realize that this is something that could come in, every year can come hit us every year. And I heard other people saying that too. So
she went, hello, go.
Yeah, she did. It's like, oh,
let's have some tea.
I put it in me bum.
Oh, put it in me bum hole.
That's what she said. That's what exactly what's happening.
Cram your knuckles in me bum hole.
The one thing I want to say is all this stuff, most of it is still kind of suggested. I heard somebody say that if you're a business owner, you should say that you want to see like a court order for them to make you shut your business down. I'm not saying I'm giving legal advice, but this kind of, if it's proven later to be some kind of hoax or some kind of BS, at least you have like documentation, and if they can't get a court order to shut you down, then what's that even say? Because technically, I know if you want to get super conspiratorial, all this stuff, they could be doing this as a hoax. They could be legally doing this as a hoax because they have the laws in place to propagandize us in such a manner. Because they've done, so the people get really conspiratorial. they've seen things that are weird. One of them is that the presidential, when they're giving the briefings, they're not using the presidential seal on the podium, and everyone's like, why aren't they using the seal? That's really weird. And another one is they said that as long as you don't see like death certificates, like they can't sign death certificates, or they can't, I don't know, fake it. So that's, if you're gonna get conspiratorial and go down the rabbit hole, that's something to look into.
This is moon landing too?
They're saying that it could be that. They're saying it could be that. But my opinion is I really do think there is some kind of virus. It's probably just around the same as a flu or a common cold, but people in power are using this to kind of grab more power, just like they did on 9/11. You know, I mean, even if you don't think 9/11 was an inside job, there's so much proof that the Israelis knew about it and people in our government knew and just didn't say anything because they wanted to kind of force their agenda. So
no matter what you think, you have to know that people during 9/11 had an inside job. Then the walls came out, and then they had not inside job. That's kind of how the job worked. It opened up. But see, and it's okay to make 9/11 jokes now because we have a new scary thing.
We have COVID.
We can do it now. 9/11. We can do that now because this thing. Because that was a thing that killed us with airborne stuff, and now we have a new thing that kills us with airborne stuff. We win. New jokes.
Yeah, you can't make fun of COVID, though. You get kicked off of Twitter, I heard.
Well, right now.
Yeah.
But you can make fun of AIDS now
because
COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're getting new things, so we're going to get all those jokes are going to be okay now. Yeah, we can't make the COVID jokes. You can't do, Wuhan. You can't do the Chinese virus, Kung Flu, which, by the way, I don't care what you think, hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
A great pun. You and I love puns. Kung Flu is one of the greatest puns of all time. I'd heard it for a while, but now it has a real feeling. And by the way, to sit there and go, it's racist, you're racist for thinking all Chinese people know Kung Fu. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like it's such a few amount of people that know Kung Fu. And they're not all Chinese. A lot of people know Kung Fu. It's just a fun thing to say. Kung Flu.
Yeah.
It makes it fun. We got to make this disease fun for kids. And saying Kung Flu and making the song Kung Flu Fighting and having Ninja Turtles, the quarantine Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doing Kung Flu would be a huge cartoon for kids.
The first footage that we get of any, hopefully there isn't, but if there's any rioting or crazy stuff, the first footage you get, we have to sing the song "Everybody Was Kung Flu Fighting" and put it under that rioting, especially for toilet paper.
Yeah, it's a Kung Flu Fighting, and I'm putting the market on the quarantine Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that's going to be a huge thing. They're just stuck in their sewers and they can't come out. No, they'd be okay, right? Because turtles don't get it.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
What do you have to, where can they follow you? Where can you plug you? All that stuff.
Go to morelawsmoreproblems.com. That's my website where I'm putting out all my work. There I put out the podcasts, the videos, the memes, the blogs, all these fun things. Like you just said, I talked to somebody from the Czech Republic. She's a Spanish lady. She's from Spain, but she now lives in the Czech Republic. She's an author, so we talked about a couple things. And I also talked to another guy. He's a kid who lives in Louisiana, and he has a conspiracy podcast. So we had a podcast that we did. That's up. It was like 2 hours long. It's really interesting.
What's the name of his podcast, you know?
Yeah, Conspiracy Church Camp, because it's kind of like church camp, but about conspiracies. That's this whole thing, and I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, churches.
So they can hear you on that one. So go check that out too.
Yep.
Anything else you want to push your plug?
No, right now just that stuff. You go
to comedylol.com, right? And then you can donate money there to Brandon to help him. He's doing all this stuff, putting all this content. But Brandon's daytime job was he's a DJ, and so right now no one's getting married. You ain't gonna have any weddings unless you're very lonely. You can have a 2-person wedding, but even that you're not allowed to do that. So to help support the people that aren't the non-essentials, we're gonna need that money. The non-essential folk that we are.
That's right.
The new N-word, non-essential.
The new N-word. Yeah.
That's who we are. The new N-word. So by the way, writing that down. And for me here, if you guys, the main thing with me right now is go to the Patreon and please subscribe and join the Oates Podcast Patreon. There's 4 tiers. The earliest one is $3, and you get basically everything. You'll get one if you go to the $10 tier. That one you'll get like one more podcast a week. You'll get most of the videos and stuff. The $20 tier is the same as the rest, but you get to call me a bitch and stuff like that and you're also my sugar daddy. It's called the sugar daddy tier. But the 4th tier is actually $925, and it's called Pay My Rent. I don't think anyone's going to do it, but if someone wants to, you can pay my rent every month. It's $925, and you get all the content. And if I ever see you, I will hold you close. I will sing whatever song you want.
Like a tiny dancer.
But I put it up yesterday. We've already got some people signed up for it. I appreciate all of them for listening to that. And for people listening here, this is going to be the Wednesday podcast. And so people listening, why is he saying that? Well, because I'm figuring it out. I think I want everyone to be able to hear this podcast and hear you, Brandon, all the great info you gave, and follow you. So this is going to be the free one out there. But everyone listening, please subscribe to the Patreon as well and get on there so you can get content. I'll be putting content out Monday through Friday. So if you're listening now, Monday you're getting a podcast. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday you're getting a video cast, and then you're getting content every day plus other fun stuff there too. Brandon, thank you so much for being on, and hopefully we become essential. One day we'll aspire, and it'll be a movie about us, and someone has to stop Kevin Costner from all the murder. They do. Thank you so much. And now I learn how to stop the recording, which is boom.